Once again, I'm live. Nobody's here, but I'm live. Well, hello, everyone. Today is the 30th of March. So we are almost at the end. I guess, I guess because it's Magoo at midnight with Magoo. So it's midnight. So it's actually Saturday here for us. And Sunday is the end of March. Hi, Sean. Thank you for coming. Hi, Heather in the library. I love that nickname. That's a good one. And believe it or not, that's amazing that I love that. This is going to be a thing on Scientology, more on the suppressive acts, and then also on fair game. And one of the biggest fair game people, I told you this, was someone in a library that I'm sure Osa had paid because she wrote lies about me day, night, and weekend, 365 days a year for years. I mean, her name was Diane Richardson, and I never could figure out, what do you have against me? And then I finally had to realize they have to be paying her because no one knew her. She just showed up out of the blue. She was someone from a library. It was just very weird. But anyway, Heather in the library, I'm happy to know there's a good person in the library because I love libraries. I do. I love books and I love libraries. Hi, Cincinnati Diane. Hi, Gregory and Tinkle Tits McGee. That's funny. Hey, Tori, happy Saturday. Yeah, it's Magoo at midnight. That's right. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So it's raining out here, believe it or not. I'm glad I was going to go over and check out the complex because some guys were over there earlier. But I think when it started raining, if it rained over there, it's so weird in LA. It can rain here at my house, and I'll go over to Spanky's, which is like 2 blocks away, and there's no rain there, or vice versa. It's really weird. You can travel around to just different areas, and it's completely sunny, and then you go to another area and it's like raining. It's amazing. I hear the rain. All right. It's gonna be raining here for a few hours. All right. And here meaning here, or in your where is somewhere else? Because I didn't know it was going to rain for a few hours. Much love from Toronto. Thank you, Sam. All right, good. This is good. Holy crap, it's Tori. How my fellow SPs are doing. So this is free to play squid. All right. Yeah, this is my midnight with Magoo. That's what these guys have been coming with me for a while. We've been doing some different things. And recently, you're in San Diego. Okay, Tinkle Tits. That's funny, McGee. Anyway, cool. You're in San Diego. All right. Yeah, it's raining here now. And Cincinnati Diane. All right. So do you guys, do you want to ask me questions? Do you want me to read you some more about the suppressive acts? Or do you want me to tell you about my fair game stuff that's happened to me and other people that I know? But mostly I would be talking about stuff that happened to me. So someone has to say, I vote for, that should be a new intro. Holy crap, it's Tori. Yeah, we can put that on the top. Holy crap, it's Tori. Um, what do you guys think? Do you want to ask questions? You're listening from OC. Okay, I vote for fair game stuff. All right. Okay, you're the first person who voted, so let's go for it. The first one I think I've talked about before, but I will talk about it again because it can't be talked about enough, really. I had heard about fair game when I was in the church, but I never really saw that happen, and I really didn't really think it did. I really didn't. I really, it was sort of like, oh yeah, I'm sure they do all that horrible stuff. But it just, because they'd send me out to handle the critics, and the critics would be saying, they do this and they do that. And I'd be like, oh, no, they don't. So then they canceled my van. That was the first fair game thing that they did. And it really freaked me out because I had heard all these critics for years telling me that they do this stuff, and me going, no, 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 they don't, don't. I mean, that's just stuff from the internet. I honestly really, I stood up in court with Margaret Singer, who's an author, and I said, that is not true. That's been canceled. which I found out later. Yeah, Hubbard wrote a cancellation policy of the name Fair Game, right? But at the bottom, it says this cancellation does not apply to suppressive people, which are the only people who would be fair game, right? So my first one was they canceled the van. Then I got to the airport. The plane was canceled. I got in the airport. The vice president comes storming up to me, which now she says, oh, that was just an accident. She just happened to have a huge pile of papers about the people that I was going to see. So that wasn't an accident. You can't get over that. Janet, no, you can't. You can say that, but I'm going to be right here saying you're a liar. Just say it. Just say you came to handle me. That would be, if I was in the church, that's what I would do. I would say, look, I tried to get you to come back. That's what I was doing, because that's the honest to God truth. That's what you were doing. But to say, oh, I just happened to run into her as an accident with a pile of papers about all the people that, black PR, nasty shit about the people that she was going to see. No, not going to fly. It just isn't. So anyway, she was there. Bob had to get me a first class ticket so I could get rid of her. I told you I got on the van. I had her carry my luggage. So she's carrying my luggage and I'm getting on the van and I'm thinking of these movies you see where someone goes, I need help, like Tina Turner, where she goes, I need help. And the guy goes, come on. And of course she was really famous, but I'd seen other movies like that. And I thought, the guy will probably help me. And so I said, look, I'm escaping out of a cult and she's the vice president. And the guy goes, you want to get on the bus or not? So, all right, let's get on the bus. So we get on the bus. I finally get on the plane. And then the big fair game for me is at the airport, at the Tampa airport, there's a mob of people at 1:45 in the morning. And their buses only went to the airport till midnight, we were told. So I really didn't think they'd be there. And they were there. And the police, which Stacy, Bob, and Jesse had called wisely, saying that she's escaping out of a cult. They're going to be here. Can you please come and help us? And then it was Stacy, Bob, and Jesse. And, anyway, they helped escort me out of the airport. But it literally, and I've said this before to each of you, on my videos here, from LAX to Tampa airport. I mean, I left this room as a Scientologist. I was just leaving that group mainly because of Miscavige. And I was just done, and the OSA shit. And I was just like, I'm not doing it anymore. That's it. I'm done. And Andreas helping me saying, what kind of friends could those be if they're going to leave you because you change your mind? Which I had written him and said, if I leave, I'm going to lose every friend I have and my husband of 27 years. And I don't know if my soul could take it. And he wrote me back that wonderful email. So anyway, that was in between that time from LAX to Tampa, I became an activist, honestly, in my head. It was just like I totally changed. I mean, I honestly, on this end of it with LAX, I thought Scientology is still a really good group. It's just they have some weird shit that I can't go along with anymore. Now, all the way over on the other side with Tampa, I realized, no, they're not a really good group. They're really creepy and they do the stuff the critics said, and I'm not going to back it up. No, that's it. So anyway, that was the beginning of the fair game. While I was there, it was pretty okay. I mean, a couple people, they had come up and try to say some things to me, and it really pissed me off. And I wrote a knowledge report up to RTC, and I said, if that lady asks me that question again, I will definitely be on the media, and I'm going to be talking about you and things that you don't want known on the media. So either get her to shut up and leave me alone, or that's what's going to happen. And what do you know? She shut up. I mean, she didn't shut up totally because she was around Bunker all the time. And he's going to have some videos up about her because she was really funny. Good morning to all of you. And thank you for coming on. It's great to see each of you. So I'm telling my fair game stuff because that's what Tinkle Tits McGee voted on that. I said, what do you want to hear? And a couple people said McGee, fair game, Kelly. And so that's what I'm talking about. So I wanted to know if you wanted to know about the suppressive stuff, but it's so boring. I was reading it myself, and I just thought, God, it's the same repetitive stuff of, you use Scientology, or you said you were Scientology when you weren't, or you went against us in court, or it's just all this. It's anything that they don't want to have happen. So there you go. So anyway, I think we've covered the suppressive acts enough, but the fair game thing. So now I'm there in Clearwater. Now I fly home. I have these little ceramic turtles on my front porch. And each week, one of the legs is broken off of them. And I just think, who would do that? Who would break off legs off of a turtle? And, a gang wouldn't do that. So I just thought, no. But, imagine I'm here by myself and I'm like, what the hell's going on? So that was when I told you guys, I called Spanky. She said, no, you're just too paranoid. And I said, okay, thank you. And I hung up because I realized she never worked with OSA. So she doesn't have that, what they do. So I called Jesse Prince, who I knew used to run this stuff. And he said, Tori, listen to me carefully. This is 100% OSA. It's not maybe it's OSA, it's 100% it's OSA. I used to run this program. It's called Psychological Warfare, and they're trying to drive you insane. That's what they're going to do. So whenever you're feeling paranoid, it's not wrong. He said you need some paranoia. They are after you right now. This was in 2000, July 2000. And I came back in August. And it was pretty weird. I mean, it was really weird. I had people on the internet attacking me. They'd hired this lady, Diane Richardson, who was writing lies about me day and night, and some other guy. And a lot of the critics went along with those lies, and it was just like trying to clear it up was awful on the internet. It was just awful. And I was all by myself, you know what I mean? But I had Jesse and Spanky and Graham, who's an attorney. I had a few friends here, and those guys and Bob and Stacy over in Clearwater, and Mark Bunker. And Mark was here pretty much at the time. So that was great. He was, interviewing people. And I had lost all my friends because, they disconnect from you as soon as you leave. So I started having these parties. The first party, I had 4 people. And we just had food, and I had a potluck, and good evening. I'm telling people about my fair game and stuff. So we just had, a little potluck, and it was fun. And then I started having them every month. Like once a month, I'd have a party, and more people were coming, and more people were coming. And, it built up to like 25, 30 people. And people were flying in from other states to interview some of the people, because many of them were people who'd run the church. And they, one guy was writing a book, and he wanted about Tom Cruise, the other side of Tom Cruise or something like that. And he wanted to interview these people that knew him. And, I knew Travolta and, different people. Spanky was here and she knew Travolta. So someone just asked, would they go to the point of seriously harming people? Well, they killed Lisa McPherson, so I can't say no. But I think in general, no. They try to do little nitpicky things. This is with me, my experience. They do just little things, so you really can't call the police. So what I did, because I realized, all of a sudden my tires are flattened, and, I go to work one day and I come out and my rearview mirror, half of it is painted pink. And I think, okay, is that a gang or is this OSA? It was just weird. And I get in the car to start driving. And by then I had gone over to Pep Boys and I said, look, they're screwing around with my car. I explained fair game. And I said, I escaped out of this cult. I started getting people in my community involved in it, which really helped. I got my neighbors all to keep an eye on them. Whenever we had a party, they'd come and take license plate numbers. So my next door neighbor would come over and he'd knock on the door. He'd go, Tori, they're out here with the license plates. And we'd all go and chase them down the street and shit like that. It was a pretty wild time. It really was. And so I got all the neighbors watching my house. And the next door neighbor, I said, look, he was an ex-Jehovah's Witness. And I told him, I said, these guys are hardcore. They're really mean. And if you ever see anything, I want you to come over and tell me. Okay. So then Religious Freedom Watch came out at some point. They created that, which is their hate page on any activist. Anyone speaking out, they write lies about them. So they had like 2 or 3 pages of lies about me up on the internet. Thank you, Brian. And so he just said, happy weekend. So where was I know I'm not supposed to look at those things because then I forget. I was telling you, what was I telling you? Oh yeah, about the parties. So I was having the parties, and there was a specific thing that I just said. Someone's got to remember what I'm talking about if I forget. Someone. All right. Okay, bit late, sorry. As always, Tori, backing you 100% from Sydney, Australia. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm trying to remember what specific, about the party. Okay, so right, we had the party and they were outside taking the license plate numbers of the people. That's what I was telling you about the Jehovah's Witness. That was it. So you have to remember just the one last thing and then I'm okay. So it wasn't the Religious Freedom Group. Yeah, they had written these lies about me. Thank you, YRB. So they had written lies about me on the internet. And one day I wake up and I had a roommate here and he was an ex-Sea Org guy and a friend of mine. And I wake up and I say, what are all these things on the table? I look, he's in the kitchen. I'm here in this room and I walk in and in the dining room table, there's a big stack of white papers, right? And I said, what's all this? And he goes, I don't know. The neighbor brought him over. And that guy and his girlfriend, they put the first copy, three pages, they had them stapled on his doorstep. And so he went around to every single house on my block and their apartments also. And he got every single one and picked them up and brought them over to me. I thought, that's so sweet. So that was that guy. I had gone to Pep Boys and told them about the car and said, I don't know anything about cars, so I need help. He said, no problem. If you're ever in trouble, bring it in. So now I come out from work one day and there's half of my rearview mirror is painted pink. And I get in the car thinking, okay, this is weird. And it falls off. And I think, okay, that's double weird. I'm going to Pep Boys. So I go in there. I say, can I talk to the guy? He comes out and I say, this is what happened. I want you to see if you think it's the Church of Scientology or a gang. He goes, okay, I'll check. And he opens up the door and he goes like this. It's the Church of Scientology. And I said, how do you know? And he goes, because you have a really good radio and any gang would have taken your radio, number one. You have bags of stuff in the back seat. A gang would have taken all of that. So it's the Church of Scientology. So that was that. And, they've kind of continued doing stuff like that. They broke in my house originally and they would move things around because I'm a person who kind of everything's always in the same place. So they would move it around just a little bit. And it's just a little bit to drive you crazy because it's usually right there. And now it'll be over here, right? So somehow they were able to get in my house. They stripped my computer completely because I had all kinds of stuff from OSA on there because I was working with Bill and doing this stuff. And so I had stuff from OSA. So they just stripped my whole computer completely. And the worst thing, probably the worst fair game thing for me personally, I had spent years, I had one of those big cameras and I would bring it to Flag and I would, interview my friends and stuff like that because there were a lot of people I loved and they were there. And then I started interviewing the staff, like what got you here? And I mean, they were really good videos. And one day I went to look at my videos and it had all this stuff of my son and his friends and kids and, from when he was little, all the way on up. And all of it was gone. And I just burst out crying. I was like so mad. And I told you I'd set up the meltdown committee. Do you guys all know that? Do you remember that? The meltdown committee, just for anybody who wasn't here when I explained it, was for the first couple of years because I lost my husband and my friends and everything I believed in. I just set up this little committee of 4 people, and I'd say I could call you any time of the day or night. That's what they had to agree to. And if I'm hysterical, just walk me out of it, help me, you know. And they did for 2 years, because I'd walk in somewhere where Harold and I used to eat or shop or go hang out or something, and I'd just burst out crying. It was just awful. And of course, people in the shop were like, "Are you okay?" And I'd say, "Yeah, I am." And I'd get on the phone and call the meltdown committee, somebody. So I called Spanky that day because I found my videotapes, and they were all stripped completely gone. It said Artie Marin on it, like little videos of Artie Marin, who was a person who spoke about Scientology. And I was so pissed. And I got in my car, and I was going to drive over to the HTV, which is that tall executive building. And I was just going to stand outside and say, "Give me my fucking tapes." You know, I was just so mad and just hysterical. And luckily, I'm good at, you know, kind of getting outside myself. And I got this little Homer Simpson bubble, and I thought, this is what they want. This is gonna be a 5150. They're gonna put you in a mental institution because you're nuts. And so I called up Spanky, just hysterical. I mean, I couldn't stop. And she goes, "All right, listen to me carefully. Turn around the car right now. Come over to my house now." And she's close to me always. So I zipped up to her house, and I mean, no, I never got them back. They, you know, I'm sure Harold has them, or Yachty has them, or Osa has them. Harold probably has them, but no, I never got him back. And you know, it really upsets me to this day, because it, you know, mostly my son and his friends and our young life. You know, it was like all about our life. It was so many beautiful videos, and to just they do that, you know, it's just. And you want to be known as a religion. You want people to think you're a church. Fuck you, Miscavige. It's not ever going to happen. And I know you probably won't see this, but your little minions will. And you guys can pass it on, that I still say you will never, ever, ever have the real. And I know you think you've got your new admin thing, so that'll make you a religion. Not going to happen. There's too many people out here that know you are FOS, full of shit. And that's a fact. It just is. I mean, doing stuff like this, stripping my computer, stripping my videos, taking my young child's, you know, my records of him, stealing all of my, what do you call them? I was trying to get my money back from Flag, and I had receipts, and they ripped those off. They were all gone. So that's why I called Flag, and that's how I found out I'm a declared suppressive person. That's how I got this. See, Jesse already said, "Yeah, no, they're not sending those out anymore." But I called and I said, you know, I called Flag and I said, "I want to talk to Treasury." And they said, "Well, who is this?" And I said, "It's Tory Bazazian." And they put me right through to the Continental Justice Chief. And it was a little 18-year-old kid. And she goes, "Do you want to know why you're talking to the Continental Justice Chief?" And of course I knew, but I said, "No, tell me, why am I talking to the Continental Justice Chief?" And she said, "Because you have been declared suppressive." And I knew I wanted to piss her off, because then I knew she'd send it to me. And so I said, "You know, you might be too young to know this policy." And everyone in Scientology, everyone knows, you know, if it isn't in writing, it isn't true. You read that on every course, everywhere. If it isn't in writing, it isn't true. So I said that to her. You know, she's like way up, big executive, right? So I said, "Well, you know, you might be too young to know this policy, but L. Ron Hubbard wrote a policy. If it isn't in writing, it isn't true." And she goes like this, "I'll have it to you in 24 hours. And I said, "Well, I'll believe that when I see it in writing." And she FedExed it to me. And I got it. And that's why it's laminated, because I thought, I'm keeping this one. All right. So we have 69 people here, and only 41 have liked it. So come on. You know me. I like it. I like either having you like it when you come in, or thank you, one more person did now, or tell me why. You know, if you don't like it, let me know, because I'm willing to learn. And anyway, it was infuriating. Tinkle Tits McGee. All right, so now I'm gonna look at you guys and see what you've had to say. Let me zip this up here. Okay, so fair game. All right, so you guys voted for fair game. They fair game me too, harassed me at my work and tried to get me. Yeah, that's the other thing. They really, I mean, they went to the extent. I have a 25-step program that Marty Rathman, before he went back to the church, he sent it to me saying, for your eyes only. And it's a 25-step program. It's on the internet. You can look for Tory. I think it's Tory Bazazian. I'm not sure if it's Tory Bazazian or Tory Christman, but it's for your eyes only. And it's, it's just unbelievable. It's 25 things that they want done, including having my ex-husband go to Better Business and lie about me. And they want people to break into my work and get hired there and steal things and say and put them on my property, saying that I stole them. It's just like unbelievable stuff. It was really sick. That's it. Call every single radio station and tell them never to interview me. It just was really sick. And they want to be a religion. Yeah, sure. Oh, it's wonderful to see you again tonight. Says nothing but love. I love story time. Thank you. Late night with Magoo. Exactly. Hey, legend. All right, Marissa said that. Tinkle Tits McGee. Thank you, Stacy and Bob. Exactly. Bob unfortunately passed away, but Stacy's probably somewhere around here. Good morning, Tori. Everybody's waving, saying hi. It's not boring. It's captivating. Okay, good. Thank you. Gregory Nitsky. I've actually been on ARS in the early days of the internet. That was that's where I was originally. I wasn't really posting on it, but I was sort of, anyway, it doesn't matter. It's an old thing before they had websites. And I worked for an internet service provider in Johannesburg. When Cape Town, it was a source of amusement with the Anon protests. You and Wise Beardman legends. Yeah. Yeah, Mark Bunker was known as Wise Beardman because he came on and gave kind of a lecture to Anonymous saying, look, we're going to get in trouble if you guys screw up. So you got to, pay attention here because we know stuff that you guys need to know. So anyway, we worked it out. Good evening, Tori and chat from Australia. All right, Swedish Lena. All right. And Jesse Baez, would they go to the point of seriously harming people? That's what you asked that earlier, yeah. Tori, I was part of a project, Scientology, and we started supporting you in 2007 and 8 or so. I've admired your courage now for almost 2 decades. Wow, that is pretty cool. Tinkle Tits McGee. I love Anonymous. I always say that. I mean, everything that's happening now would not have happened if Anonymous hadn't showed up. That's my opinion. Because I was interviewed for 8 years before Anonymous showed up. And it was me and about 3 or 4 other people, Larry Wallersheim, sometimes Jerry. There were just like a few people, Arnie, and me. That was it. It was like everybody else was like, they all had, nicks that you didn't know their name, but we said our names and our phone numbers and stuff like that. So it was tricky, so to me, it felt like I was in an alley fighting this totalitarian organization that was basically trying to rape me. That's the way I felt. And then all of a sudden, these 500 guys, or really 9,000, come around the corner with signs, and they're young and they're like, we're on your side. And I was like, oh, thank God. And, the media for 8 years would interview me for an hour every time. We're going to do an interview with you. We want to know your story, blah, blah, blah. And then it would always be whittled down to 15 minutes. 10 of it was Tom Cruise or another celebrity of theirs. And 5 of it was me. And it was always where I looked the worst. One of the things I said that was important was never in there. It was just sort of blah. It was like, why did you even have her on? Right? So now, once Anonymous came, I knew it. I knew it was going to happen, and it did. Nightline, I think a night later, interviewed some of the, Mike and Marty and, some of the guys that were working up running this church, so that was good. That was really good. And then just the anonymous lines opened up, but that was, the media lines opened up, but that was from anonymous. And so I always acknowledge them. A lot of people don't. They're sort of like, oh yeah, they came, they went. No, because I was there. Do you see what I mean? I know the difference. A lot of these people don't know the difference. They were still in the church. See, I was out. They were in. A lot of them. If you ask, well, when did you actually leave? Okay, when did you leave? When did you start speaking out? And many of them, it was way past anonymous or right when anonymous, like Mark Headley and Claire Headley. They came up to me that day. We knew they were execs in the church. We could just tell by, especially Mark, because he was blown for good. And he had all these inside stories. And it was like, okay, this guy, we got to find out who this is. But he wouldn't say, of course. And he has businesses and stuff like that. But then Anonymous came and Mark Headley walked up to me and he goes, I'm blown for good. This is my wife, Claire Headley, and our kids. It was really great. And Jenna, Jenna Miscavige had been some other name that she came up and said, I'm so-and-so, but I'm really Jenna Miscavige. So I met her and just a bunch of different people that were online, but were online, quietly, not saying who they were. So once those guys came out, the media opened up because all of a sudden it wasn't just four of us talking about this and maybe who knows who these other people are. Now they were real people. And it was like, okay, we better tell both sides of the story. So to me, it's a big deal. So I always mention it. Anyway, there you go. That's my little rant on Anonymous. My buds. Ping pong gang strikes again? What is that? Wait a second. I'm a big ping ponger. Tori, I was part of a project. Okay, that's a project. Ping pong. Ping gang strikes again. I don't know what that is. Ping gang. I don't know what that is. Free to play squid. Okay. All right. It's a bit late. Okay. I already said hi to you. Lies on the internet posted about you. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. You were reminding me that. Yep. Thank you, each of you. I don't know how you can trust anyone. How can I trust anyone? You have to build that up. It takes time. It does. When you've been screwed over and part of a group where they were screwing people over, including me, it's tricky. It took a long time, but I have it's just a very tight group of friends and they know who they are and they know that I trust them. And that's it. And if, we each know enough about each other that we know we're not OSA. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, and you could say, oh, they still could be. Yeah, they could be. It could be like a long-term, like 50-year deep cover thing or something. But I'm not going to live my life that way. You got to live your life. And there's a point where I was really paranoid, and I got out that beautiful life, where the guy's a schizophrenic. The movie, and I thought, I'm going to read that book, and it really helped me. It did, because the wife at the end says, look, you've got two choices. You can either go into the mental institution, and they're here right now tonight to take you, or, which wasn't me, but you know what I mean? It was just his thing. Or you can make a choice, go back to being a professor at Harvard, know those three little people are there, but don't give a lot of energy to it. And I realized it's the same for anything. If you're paranoid, you just have to cut back the energy that you give to whatever you're paranoid about. Somebody liked it. Good. All right, it's 121 to 79. Come on, there's a bunch of people that have to like it. Come on. I'm not going to talk anymore until the likes go up, or you tell me what you don't like. Come on. It's easy. You just hit a little thing. If you don't know where it is, ask someone. I don't know where it is either. But I think you have to go to, I don't know. I'm sure it's somewhere easy. There it went to 80. All right, that's better, but there's still a bunch of people that haven't liked it. So come on, you guys. All right, I'm going to keep looking. Very Eastery, Tori. I have a new purple egg Bango ready for Sunday. Oh, nice. Carrie, all right, nice. Up Mayo. I'm late for everything. Just woke up. Well, good morning. Jesse Baez. Did you get them back? No, I won't ever get them back. Unless Harold left. That's the only way I would get him back is if he actually woke up and left. And I don't really think that's going to happen. I just don't. I mean, it's one of those things where at some point you have to go. I actually had a funeral for him. I did. Because I just was constantly thinking, maybe he'll come back tonight. Maybe he'll walk in the door. Maybe he'll, that kind of thing at night, especially at night, because I missed him. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to have a funeral, and that's it. And I did, and that's it. I got rid of everything that reminded me of him. This is Harold gone. I just got rid of everything. And that's it. I have my memories of him, and I always will. Just like anybody who loses someone, that person's always going to be in your heart. Wow, a whole bunch of people left. That was really interesting. It was like 100 and something people and 80 something likes, and now it's 84 people and 87 likes. So a whole bunch of people left, I guess. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend them. Was it offensive? Was I offensive? You got to tell me if I am, because you guys are my little team. You got to let me know. You're my family. Now, is there a storage department in Scientology? Like, will they have the VH? Nah, I have no idea. That's a good question, but I have no idea. Most people that have blown have had whatever personal items stolen by OSA. Yeah, I think so. I mean, anything of value. See, I had the staff, they didn't really care about my son, but on those same tapes were the staff being interviewed at Flag, and they didn't want that. So all of it gone. Really gross, though. Okay, most people, okay, so Tinkle Tits, they have a big LRH home bases with vaults in case of nuclear disaster. Well, those are for the tech, though, Carrie. That isn't like personal items. That's for the tech on the titanium discs. And we used to always joke about it when we were in. We'd say, because if you've seen the Terminator, right? In the beginning of it, all of LA is all blown up and everything. And we would go, yeah, we can see it. There's going to be an atomic bomb, and then out of that big, blow up is going to be these hands coming up, and it's another hand, and they pull themselves up and they go, all right, we gotta get to New Mexico to get the tech. So now they crawl their way all the way to New Mexico so they can get the titanium discs with the tech on it so they can start Scientology again. It's just like, are you fucking nuts? And this was when we were members, and we were making fun of it. It was like, come on, who's going to do that? All right, so now let's see. Just like I forgot. Okay. Adrian. All right. Cincinnati Diane, like it or say why you don't. There you go. Yeah, that's right. Now there's 90 likes. So thank you, everybody. You came together. A bunch of people left. So, okay, I guess rather than like it, we're out of here. Sorry about that. If I offended anybody, I do want you to tell me. Jesse Baez. Okay, thank you for all those things. That's cool. Alaska. Hi, Cincinnati Diane. Okay, so you guys are just saying hi. I think it speaks to how afraid they were of you. Yeah, I think so too. I think you're right, which is really ironic because of all the people I know, I'm like the least scary person. Tom Cruise and his middle tooth cannot defeat the will of the people. Hello, Tori. Just joined from Sweden. All right. Swed-ish Andrea. Okay, hi. Tom Middletooth Cruz. Hugh. Okay, so you guys are talking together. All right. Do you have an old wise directory? I don't think I do. That's something I wish I did have, but I don't think I do. I have the tech dictionary. And some of the books, some of the basic books, like I said, they gave me some 50-year deep cover. I know, that's funny, huh? Okay, it's lagging there too. All right. Guys, restarted because I did that and it fixed the lagging. Okay. All right. Hi, Tori. I'm thrilled to catch a live with you. It's 4 p.m. Saturday afternoon. Wow, here in Perth, Australia, Western Australia. Have you ever traveled? No, I haven't. I've always wanted to. I haven't. I never left the country until Andreas said he couldn't believe it. He said, "You've never left America?" And I said, "No, I don't even have a passport." And he couldn't believe that because I guess in Europe, everyone has a passport. And like my son said, everything, it's like in our country, the United States, when we go state to state, that's kind of how it is in Europe because their countries are smaller and closer together. So you have to have a passport. Anyway, Andreas found where I didn't even know where I was born. I knew I was born in Kansas City, Missouri, but I didn't know what hospital. So he found what hospital. He got my birth certificate, sent it to me. I got my passport, saved up for a year, went to Norway. So that was the first time I was out of the country, and that was fun. And then Anonymous flew Bunker and I to um, London to pick it with them, and that was really fun. And then Pete Griffith and John McGee and Sam flew me and a bunch of people over to Ireland for kind of a conference. So that was really great too. And then a professor flew a bunch of us up to Toronto, Canada, to do another conference there. And these were all kind of early, before COVID and stuff like that. But those are the places I've been. I've always wanted to go to Australia. So there you go. All right. Is that mask on your shelf behind you that one you wore? I never wore a mask in the protests. I told them that because most of them that I met were wearing masks, on Skype. I met them on Skype the night that they announced they were going to, shut down Scientology's websites. They, I said, "Oh, bullshit." So they came on, "This is anonymous." And I was like, ah. But they had on their masks. And anyway, we talked about it. And I said, whatever you guys are planning, it's not going to work. They're going to put you in prison. Not a good idea. These guys are way, way ahead of you on this one. And so they said, "Well, what can we do?" And I said, "Let's do a picket, a peaceful picket. They can't arrest you for that." So I said, I'm not going to wear a mask because of my hair. Number one, everybody I can just drive up to L. Ron Hubbard Way and they got everybody going in the buildings because they go, "Tori's here." It's like, I don't know why. They just know my hair. So I knew they would know my hair if I had on a mask. And I also felt like someone had to be able to talk to the media if they came. And with masks on, it's very hard to talk. They eventually cut holes and stuff like that, but it wasn't at the first picket. So no, I didn't wear a mask, but they gave me one, and that's my mask. That's my anonymous mask in honor of them. Yeah, hit the thumbs up, gang. All right, 106 to 102. Woohoo! That's good. More people came and 106 liked it. So that means there's some people that are inside that are listening. And I thank you for that. I thank you guys that are here, that are speaking. I love your comments. I love your questions. And I also love that there might be some people in that don't feel, their family's in or whatever, so they can't really speak out, but they can like the video. And that's where I think it goes from, because otherwise it would be even, right? But I think that's it. That's just a theory. But anyway, I hope they are, because maybe they'll wake up and literally leave. I mean, I think they're waking up that they're here. The iPhone crashed, people. Oh, okay. Tori, you have such a lovely smile. I hope my name makes you laugh. L. Ron, right. That's better than L. Ron Hubbard, which was last night. All right. The best day ever 2020. All right. Maybe it's some of those Scientologists watching your channel and they're afraid to like it and be found out. No, I don't think they're afraid to like it. That's why I'm saying the likes are more than the people here, because I think they can like it and they know it's safe to like it. They just can't be on the thread like you guys are. They can't, they don't want me to say their name because they're still in. And I'm happy about that. I am. I really am. I love that people, have access to information. All right. So let's see. L. Ron Hemorrhoid. I think my name is more offensive. Okay. I don't. I think L. Ron Hubbard is more offensive, but I get it. Yours is funny. Cincinnati Diane, people left because YouTube is having problems. Oh, okay. They're coming back. Okay. Well, thank you, Cincinnati Diane. I appreciate that. Nothing but love. I think they're crashing problems on YouTube. Wow. I've been having issues all day. Really? Well, how interesting. All right. Well, thanks for letting me know that. Nothing but love. Now, this is Andrea. No offense. I had to leave and come back for lagging. I gotcha. Yeah, they've been talking about that. How can Scientology afford lawyers to this degree? Are you kidding me? Captain Charisma? How can Scientology afford lawyers? I've been in court with them. They have like tons of lawyers. They have billions of dollars. They're a very wealthy church. I was shocked before I got back on doing live. I was reading, I think Tony, excuse me. It's funny. I just saw a thing on what is it called? What's the thing called where the guys and they give you the millions of dollars? Shark Tank. I was watching a Shark Tank and someone brought in a thing on hiccups. And I thought, God, I haven't hiccuped in years. And here I am hiccuping. Anyway, now I forgot what I was saying. Let's see. How can Scientology afford? Oh, yeah, the lawyers. Well, I was reading Tony. That's what I was telling you. And some guy had donated 500, and this is donate giving. $500 million to the Church of Scientology IAS. Now, people go, well, that's a tax write-off. But why not put it in a real charity where people can get help? They're not realizing this money is going directly to David Miscavige. He's buying motorcycles and outfits and, whatever. But he's not going there to help people that are hungry. Do you know what I mean? And do things that he should do with that money. He's not. So I'm trying to get those guys. I'm going to start making some videos about that to very, very wealthy people, letting them know, do not put your money into the Church of Scientology. Don't. Because it's just down the drain. It's not helping anyone. They don't believe in help. They don't. They look at people that need help. You're down stats. All right. Good morning. It's 4 a.m. here. Martha Simmons. All right. Good girl. Uh-oh, everything went blue. Now I don't know what I did. What did I do? Okay. I don't know what I did. Okay, there we go. We're back. All right. Gee, hi. Why am I flashing back to where somebody got so much hay and making concrete connected with this story? Did I get too stoned for lunch earlier? I think maybe you did. I don't know what you're talking about. Why am I flashing back to where somebody got so much hay and making concrete connected with this story? I think you're stoned. Does that ring a bell? Did I say anything about hay or concrete in this conversation? I don't think so, Gene. Anyway, it's okay. Just enjoy being stoned. That's all right. Los Alamos, Tori, where would they archive all the epic piles of paper they produce? It's funny that's how Anonymous was. They wanted to find all the top secret stuff. I said, they don't have shit like that anymore because they know there's people that are looking for it, that'll come after it. I really don't think they store all the paper stuff anymore. I told you what I saw in ethics, me personally, which was they opened the door. This is at AOLA. Opened the door. These are knowledge reports that are supposed to be filed, and you have an ethics file and everything else. And I said, well, where are they really going? And he goes, open that door. And I opened the door, and there's just piles and piles and piles of paper, not stacked up paper all over the place, just shit. You know what I mean? So I don't think they have that anymore. They probably do for the I'm wrong on the folders for the PC folders. They keep those, and those they probably have starred out at Bridge, which is somewhere. You can get it. You can look it up on Google, Bridge Publications, because I called them and talked to them, so I know you can go out there. But the folders are probably stored at Bridge. They used to have them there. I have no idea, nor do I care. I'm happy to be away from them. KSW keeps Scientology not working. Exactly. That middle tooth is a little terrifying and puzzling. I still need to watch that live that explains it. Okay. I don't know. I guess this is about Tom Cruise again, who I'm not going to waste any more time talking about. That I was created for your laughter. Please enjoy and floss. Tom Middletooth Cruise. Thank you. All right. And Tinkle Tits McGee, America is the size of like 40 countries in Europe. Yeah. Right. So that would make sense. See, if you had to move from state to state and you had to have a passport, we would all have them, right? Because a lot of people move state to state. So that would make sense. Anyway, thank you guys for liking everything. I appreciate it. And all right, so I think we're good. It looks like everybody. Are there any other questions before I end off? We're almost an hour. Thank you for staying here, and happy Friday night, happy Saturday. I hope you guys have a wonderful Easter. I don't think they're going to have an Easter thing with the Squirrel Squad over at the complex, but I'm not going to go to that. I don't think. I might, but I don't think so. Because I think it's going to be really chaotic with all this stuff and the kids and stuff like that. And like I said, I believe the kids should just be able to be the kids and enjoy their thing. And that's it. And have it be a happy day. And I don't want, I'm not going to be there. I got other stuff I'm going to do on Easter, and I hope you guys do too. Oh, that's right. It's lagging. So maybe you guys are there and you really are saying things, but it's not posting it. Because, see, I don't see anything. The last thing I see is Tom Middletooth. And, oh, wait, here we go. There we go. Oh, I forgot to hit the blue arrow. I forgot to tell Love It that I'm going to be on here. I can't get the thing up. This was Fair Game, TED Talk. This is Wisdom. As deranged and petty as things seem, there's almost no low they won't go. Tinkle Tets, who are you talking about? What exactly what are you referring to? I can't get the thing to go up. Yeah, it won't go up. All right, so you'll have to tell me another time, but I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, wait a minute. There you go. Chi. I want the kids and the parents to see us as supportive persons, not suppressive. Yes, exactly. Me too. That's why I'm not going. Tinkle Tits McGee, I'm talking about what Scientology has done to me and others. Okay. All right. I gotcha. Okay. So thank you, Tori. You're amazing, she said. I feel the same about each of you. Rachel, love you, Tori. Thank you. Sweet. Oh, this is Adria. Happy I could catch you live. Me too. And Tinkle Tits, I love that name. And especially Tinkle Tits McGee. I love the name McGee. They have an Easter thing tonight, but it started raining. Yeah, no, I think they were just out there. But I know the bunny was there. I saw him, but they're not really doing it. They're really doing it on Sunday. They're doing a whole big thing. when I get the hiccups, it will last for hours. Oh, you'd like this thing on Shark Tank. It's a thing that you just sip some water and it goes away. It really looked good. Tori, I'm bringing art supplies and candy and Easter eggs for kiddies to just pick up if they want. No interpolation. I love them. Okay, good. I already had something planned that I was planning on doing anyway, so that's why I can't. But I'm glad you're doing something nice. That'll be good. Happy Easter to each of you. I agree with you. I want the kids and the parents to see us as supportive, and that's the way to do it. But what I would do if you want to be supportive, I mean, first of all, I don't think they're going to let you on the street where the kids are, just so you're ready. Because I've been there when they don't want us on the street and they put bushes up on each end and stuff like that. So nobody can see in. And, you kind of they have permits so that you have to stay on the sidewalks at the end of the complex on each end. That's okay. You can still do it, but I don't know that you'll see the kids, just so you know. So don't spend a lot of money on it because I don't know that you'll see them. But it's a very sweet thought. Let's see. I'm talking about, okay, so we got that. Thanks, Tori. You're welcome, Cincinnati. Diane, have a wonderful Easter weekend. Nothing but love. Thank you so much for your time. It's always so much fun. I'm glad you guys liked it because I always feel like today, I thought, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. And I kind of was sick of the suppressive acts because I started reading them and they're just the same thing, kind of over and over, like you're pretending you're Scientology or you're twisting the words or you're doing this, and it was like, hey, yeah, it really, they're going to decide. It doesn't matter. They could have it in writing. They have it. That's why they have it 8,000 ways. So they can take anything and say, see, you violated that. Here it is. I understand that squirrel kiddos may come. Okay. Okay, good. Well, that's good. So then you'll have the stuff for them. That'll be really good. No permits issued thus far. Okay, good to know, bottoms up. If they haven't been issued yet, I would think they're not going to be issued because I think you have to get them way earlier. I know you do because Jessica tried to get them for, a couple of weeks from when they were going to do something. And the guy said it's 40 days. You have to apply 40 days before to get a permit. So they're not going to have a permit. So there you go. No late night with Tori, even just freestyle chat is so nice. I start work at 2 a.m., so it's perfect. There you go. All right, we want to hear from you, even if you don't have anything to say. Well, thank you guys. You're very sweet. You really are. I I feel like I need, like I listen to other channels and I think, like some of them, they've got it really, planned out and everything. And I'm the opposite, but it's midnight with Magoo. So there you go. And if it's too weird, you can tell me and just let me know. All right. So hope you have an amazing Easter. I will, but thank you. And you don't usually need a permit to walk on sidewalks. You'd be surprised. You would be surprised. Scientology down at the shrine always got permits. And the shrine is the shrine. And they'd already rented the shrine. But the sidewalks outside of it, we had to be across the street. You couldn't be on that side, on their side of the street. They had permits that proved it. Did they really? No, because we had one guy, Doug Owens, who would always get handcuffed, go down to the station, prove that they were wrong, and come back. And he would call me at night and say, see, we won. And I'd say, Doug, no, we didn't win. The only people who won was the Office of Special Affairs taking a photograph of you being handcuffed. It doesn't matter that you got away because nobody else is going to hear that side of it. So they've got the photograph now. They go to the people with bucks and go, you've got to chip in. Look at this. Look how evil these people are. They're being arrested. We need your money to help handle this. And people are like, okay, let me write a check. There you go. All right. So anyway, okay. You don't usually need, okay, so, oh, Zemu, my whole chat went black, but it looks cool. Okay. Nadia Beeswax. Okay, Tori, it makes me so happy to see you out there protesting with everybody, telling them all your stories and giving them knowledge. Well, I don't know. I didn't really feel like I was doing that, but thank you. I'm very happy to be out there with them. I really am. I think we're all learning from each other. So that's the way I think. I think they meet to say that Scientology hadn't yet filed for permits, Tinkle. Okay, that could be. All right. Not that it matters. They're best friends with the corrupt cops. Yeah. This is perfect. I love your style. Thank you. Nothing but love. That's very sweet. Different day because YouTube does cover it. All right. Hello, Tori, and hello, everyone. My Tony. All right. Hi, my Tony. You can tell Natalie that I definitely want to talk to her. More people have said she wants to talk to me. I want to talk to her. I say, please have her call me because, that's the best way. So just have her call me because I'm really bad with emails. So she could email me, but I won't necessarily see it. So anyway, let her know I do want to talk to her. All right. Are you kidding? I've been learning from you for 7 years. This is better than a gospel channel. Thank you. How sweet. Don't worry about other people's YouTube style. Having these late night chats with you is fun. That's what I think. It's just sort of fun. It's just kind of a light, different things come up and you guys will think of things. You should think of things that if you hear them or you see them and you think, I don't know about that. I wonder what Magoo would say. Ask me because I'm good at that. I'd be happy to answer. I think you are great. Love watching you, Tori. Thank you, Kimberly. That's nice. Chi. A Tori Natalie interview, swoon. I think we're going to do one eventually, but anyway, Natalie has left you voicemail. She has? I don't know where. I will try again, but you know what? If my Tony's still here, why don't you send me her phone number and I'll call her because that'll be easier, I think, than her calling me. So at my Tony. Okay, so I can just email at my Tony and that'll work. Okay, I'm going to try it. A lot of the permits are not legal and the fines for them are cheap. They just need a fall guy. Yeah, and this one guy would do it every time. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, I'm here, my Tony. All right, good, my Tony. So listen, if you could ask Natalie, if you could email me Natalie's phone number and just put a big YT, like YouTube, or my Tony in the subject, and then just send, because I'm really bad at it because they spam my emails to death. So I just kind of gave up on it. But if you do that, I'll answer it and then I'll call her because she's obviously not getting through to me. Hello, Tony. You'll have to replay this, but it's always a joy. Yeah, this was good. I went over a bunch of fair game things. I mean, I'm sure she's had a bunch, and you probably have too. So, it's always interesting to hear different people's experiences with the churches. I mean, mine, can you believe it? Since 2000? I mean, wow. And you know what's interesting with the fair game thing? Many, many times from 2000, I'd be like, you know what? I'm done. I'm going to quit. And then they would do some other shit. And I'd go, all right, fire up let's go. We're doing an interview. We're doing a picket, whatever. We're going to do something. And I told them when I started my YouTube site in 2008, right away, Yachty was on there saying shit about me. And I said, okay, listen to me carefully. I am not like other people. No. You're not going to slime my area with just shit. If you're shitty, you're out. That's it. I'm going to ban you. I'm going to block you. And that's it. And my site has been a really good site for a long time because of that. But I was like really strong on that. It's like, don't. No. Tony, poke your wife, point your phone at her? What? What are you talking about? Tony, poke your wife, point your phone at her. This must be a secret conversation they're having. Hello, Tori. We'll have to replay this, but it's always a joy. Thank you. Thank you. Care for JCYT. All right. Okay, you will. I'll email with my Tony. Okay, yeah, that's good. In the subject. Perfect, Tony. That'll help. I'm so happy you helped her. That's really great. Okay, by the way, Natalie's Tony, thank you for not hiding me from the channel because of my gross name. Does that usually happen? Nothing but love. Thank you. Yeah, my Tony sounds like a good guy. Elron, good to see you. Funny. All right. They ace at making their own enemies. They do. I told them that when I was in. I said, you are creating your own enemies. And they do. And then when I was out in Magoo dancing in Boston, I said on the camera, I told you you were creating your own enemies, and here I am. You know, it was really shocking to be in and trying to get them to wake up and then being out. It didn't help anyway. Yes, I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea or donut pillow. I understand. Elron Hemorrhoid. Here I am. The sweetest lady in the world scared them. I know, isn't it weird? I mean, it's like I am not a scary person. They always say I'm 1-1. They've run that on me for 30 years when I was in the church because of epilepsy. And that's part of their thing. It's like, well, you know, if you've got a neurological illness, you're 1.1. Well, if you know the tone scale at all, I am not 1-1. I'm an overt person. 1-1 is like covert, where they're kind of behind things, you know, saying stuff. I'm not 1-1. I'll tell you what I think. Everybody that knows me goes, you are definitely someone who will tell people what you think. And I do. You know, it's like, that's just the way I feel. It's like, that is what I think. So why not say it? All right. So let's say here I am. My Tony is a good guy. I agree. Or a good girl. Tinkle Tits McGee, thank you for your hearts. You guys are really sweet. I love outspoken people. It's so much less energy than figuring out what someone's acronym word salad. Yeah. It's like, you know, when this is a funny story. It's a true story that happened. I was teaching. I might have told you guys this, but if I did, you could just say you already told us, and then I'll move on. But I don't think I did. But I was teaching at Mace Kingsley School here in LA for 6th grade. That's where I was teaching Danny Masterson and a bunch of kids. And they came out with new math. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of new math. I had never heard of it. It's a nightmare, right? And I could not figure it out. And so you wouldn't happen to know anyone in the Vegas area who would be willing to be a protest buddy for a few hours. Okay, now we're getting into other stuff. I'm going to come back to that, but I want to finish my story with the Mace Kingsley thing. So I say to this lady, or say that I've already said it. Did I already tell you this story? Is that what's happening? Okay, it's about a lady who was the correction officer. So I went in to see her, and she'd always give me these really dirty looks, you know, sort of like, you know, I was just wasting her time. And she's from New York, and I'm from Chicago. So finally, I sit down one day and I write her a letter, and I say, you know what, you are an embarrassment to New Yorkers, because I don't mind if you don't like me. Just say, Tori, I fucking hate you. That's okay with me. I don't mind that. But don't give me those slimy, dirty looks and never say what it is that I'm doing wrong. I don't like that. And that lady, and I gave it to her, and that was it. I thought, all right, screw her. And she said, I want to take you out to lunch. And she said, I cannot thank you enough. I had no idea I was doing that. I apologize. She was just a wonderful person. I mean, she just didn't realize she was doing that. So that's why I'm like, just say it. You know what I mean? I say it to people all the time. Just say it. Just say what you think. Because I can take what you think. I can't take the, where they're kind of putting it out there, but you don't really know. And what is it? It's like, no, forget it. Forget about it. And so I told her, I said, you and me, New York and Chicago, we're pretty similar. Okay, so there you go. That's the story. So to Pop Groomer 20, Cult of Scientology lives in Vegas. Let me see if I can get you his email. Okay, that's good, Chi. Cult of Scientology. All right, that'd be good. And they could pick it because there's a bunch of ex-Scientologists that are there. I know Janice Gillum is, but I don't think she protests. And I don't know. I don't know the guys. I know there's kind of a ex-Scientology community there, but I don't know who they all are. They literally can't stop. It's awful. The policies. They've learned them so much and so constantly. It's just part of their personalities. But they can get past it and heal their hearts. You did. Thank you, Hazel. That's right. I worked on it a lot. I did. I still work on it. It's just one of those things. Holy-ish, you saved her. All right. Holy-ish, you saved her. Okay, I guess I missed Holy-ish. Holy-ish, you saved her. Oh, the girl, you're talking about the girl at Mace Kingsley. Yeah, I think it really helped her because she did not know she was doing that. And it saved me too, because I was going nuts trying to get some help from her, and she wasn't helping me at all. So from then on, and it turned out she didn't know it either. She said, honestly, that's why I'm giving you those dirty looks. I don't understand New Month at all. It's like Martian language to me. So, it was a good thing that I just said it to her. All right. So, all right, good. So Pup Groomer has emailed him, but I haven't heard back. So email him again. Just keep doing that. Tori, your directness is beautiful. Just say it. Yeah, I love that. Thank you, my Tony. I love that being in a place of limbo always sucks. It does. It's just better to just say it. That's why I say to people, if you don't like something I'm doing on here, say it, because I can handle that. If people just start vanishing, it's like, wait a minute, what happened here? At least say I'm leaving because, you have ugly glasses or something. No, I don't care. I'm kidding. But and you can't be real mean like that because then the moderators will 86 you. So I'm direct, and it's okay with me if you're direct. And you can just say, Tori, it's okay. It's like I grew up with a mother that was like corrective criticism, and that I can't stand. It's like, this is corrective criticism. Your bangs are too long, Tori. It was just sort of like she always had something that was wrong with me as an adult. And it just drove me nuts. It was like, just keep your corrective criticism to yourself. I'd rather have her say, look, anyway, whatever. Tori, yeah, I get some flack for having empathy for those people. They can't just shake that mindset like a dog shakes itself dry. That reminds me, you're right about that. And I saw these dogs, or this one dog. I loved this thing. I wish I had it to show you guys. But think of, like you're going through a car wash and a gas station where they've got those, it's a car wash and those things are going down. And there's a dog going back and forth as the things are going down, so it's washing him. He's getting washed. He's going back and forth. I thought, now that's a smart dog. He was so happy. It was in the summertime and it was really hot. And he's like, ooh. Anyway, Cincinnati Diane, people have sometimes dinged me for being too direct. Yeah, I know it can be tricky online, But I think it's the best way to be because there's no confusion. Yeah, and you can always say, I'm saying this kindly, I'm not just trying to upset people because the moderators have to kind of keep those people that are just trying to upset people out of the picture because that's all they're trying to do. So anyway, but I agree. Bluntness respects everyone's time. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That sounds cute. I bet Pup Groomer 20 has seen that. Okay. Gee, what are you guys talking about now? Oh, that sounds cute. What? I want to know what sounds cute. Oh, yeah, I get some. No, that isn't it. People, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, that's adorable. Okay. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Oh, the dog in the car wash. Okay, yeah. Isn't that cute? And this was like it was 104 degrees in LA. It was really hot last summer. And then I see they had it on the news and here's this car wash, with this stuff, those things going where it's washing the front of your car. And the one car was already in and there was nothing else. So the dog is like, okay, I'll go. And he's just running back and forth, going, "Ooh, this feels good." I thought that's a smart dog, and he probably doesn't, this is probably a regular thing for him. Isn't that funny? Anyway, there you go. I better go to bed, and you better. Well, I don't know. Some of you guys have to start your day. Some of you have to go to bed, and some of you are going to go watch TV or watch some other videos or type some things on the internet. Who knows? But if I don't see you for Easter, as I don't know if I will, but I might be on, but I don't know. So if I'm not, I want you to have a wonderful weekend. I really do. I love you guys, and I really thank you for being on here. It's 3 a.m. now, and I probably will. Okay, good. So sweet dreams. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being so kind. Have a beautiful holiday. You receive postal mail today. That's right. Gee, I can't wait. And I'm going to get my chair too. So I'm going to have a megaphone and a chair. Woo! I'm very excited about it. So thank you, Chi. That was very kind. Really kind. All right. So anyway, there you go. You guys have a wonderful. Oh yeah, here's Mr. Anonymous. I brought him out. Here he is, the Norwegian, in honor of Andreas. Mr. Anonymous. I should have a little Easter thing for you, but I don't. And just in case you haven't done OT3, you're going to meet Xenu, the evil warlord. I have to always remind people because you never know. You've had him for decades. I know. I have. I got him when Andreas and when I first, which was in early 2000, and now it's 2024. But I keep him pretty. I don't like throw him around or anything. He's special, so I keep him in a special place. There you go. All right. Bye and night. I love you guys. Happy Easter if you celebrate Easter, and if you don't, have a wonderful weekend. There you go. Adios, amigos. Thank you for coming here.